Hey guys, thank you for watching my first video. For those of you who did, welcome to video number 2. I just wanted to say, of course I wouldn't sell my soul, but it just seemed like a really dramatic, good grab to get you to watch the video. But what I would have given to know and really understand these things when I first started, I think I could have gotten to where I wanted to be much faster and desensitized myself to a lot of what the industry has to offer that you don't necessarily want. The first lesson that I think everybody should know is that unfortunately not everybody wants to see you succeed. And I think that probably has to do with maybe feeling like left behind, or maybe envy, or you fill in the blanks, but not everybody wants to see you succeed. And the killer to that piece is that it's oftentimes the people who you think would most be in your corner. And to me, that was a really, really hard pill to swallow. I think that you expect your people to be there to congratulate you. And it's so interesting because I've seen other people share this before on social media, that it's interesting that somebody in another state or another country, thousands of miles away, are more supportive of me and what I'm doing than my actual people or people that I'm related to. Or it's just the cold hard truth of business, unfortunately. The next thing I would say is not everybody's going to be in alignment with what you do. And that doesn't mean that they don't like you. It's like if you guys remember Chicken Soup for the Soul, there was a teenage version. And in that, there was a story about how everybody isn't going to like you. And that's okay, because you don't like everybody else. There are just some people that you meet and you're like, ugh, no, thank you. I don't like them. Just because they aren't in alignment with what you're doing doesn't mean it's not good, or doesn't mean that thousands of people are. It's okay if people, so for example, for us, one of our the most important thing that we wanted to do was create quality products that had an eco-friendly packaging, or, we wanted our company to be eco-friendly, and that wasn't in alignment with a lot of people. We started when like mermaid and unicorn and teal were trendy. So when you're offering like this brown paper sack color, it's not really in alignment with what everybody wants. It doesn't go with what they're feeling that they want. So just know it's okay. And a lot of times when you're one of the first people to start something before it's actually trendy, it just takes a long time for people to catch on to it. So if it's really passionate, or if you're very passionate about it, or it's something that's near and dear to your heart, do it, and just know you'll find your people and your people will find you. The third thing I will say, and this I think everybody can relate to, if this is for everything in life, if you wait until you're 100% ready, you will never do it. I think it's important to have a plan, and I think it's important to financially prepare yourself and to realistically plan for that financially. But what I mean by not starting until you're ready is perfect. A perfect example of this would be the video before this. Like, I didn't have my setup, but my excuse was that, oh, I'm not ready, it's not set up, I don't have everything finished. And I knew that if I just did that, it would light a fire under my butt and I would just do it. So there's a perfect example. But it's better to do it and to get your content out there, because a lot of times the people who believe in you, they don't care if it's perfect. They just want to hear what you have to say. So do it. And what I was told, and I hear this in podcasts and books, if you're proud of the first launch that you ever did, you waited way too long. So it's okay to feel like you're 100% ready. If your finances are in order and you actually have a business plan that is realistic, try. And I think a lot of the thing is like, we're afraid of public failure. We think of like the girl from high school, like, oh my God, she's going to see this. So what? At least you're trying. The next thing I would say, which this is hard for me, asking for advice and asking for help. People want to help you. And people have so much advice to give you. And if you're coming to somebody and you're saying like, hey, oh my gosh, you're amazing. I really look up to you. They're going to be so honored and they're going to want to help you. And I'm not saying like shoot somebody a message on Instagram, somebody that you know. I had two girls, Christine and Michelle, who own an incredible clothing boutique. There's actually multiple in their online store. And I was so lucky, and I still am just like so grateful to have had them in my lives. I learned quickly that it's okay to ask for advice, or like for me, it would be like, hey, who's your accountant? Hey, what do you do when you have to fire somebody? Hey, what did you do? Because they're like 10 steps ahead of me. It's really cool to have people like that. But I will say, don't take advantage of it. At the time, I did nails as well. So I would trade them nails for credit in their store, because I was like, I don't even care if we do this for free. I will do your nails for business advice. But they were just so amazing. And I think asking people for advice, because honestly, that could shave off 10 years and tens of thousands of dollars in mistakes that you could potentially make, when all you have to do is just ask somebody. The next thing is, again, really big, doing something without a community. And you know how big I am about community. Doing something alone, you can get there, you can do it alone, but if you have a community of people backing you, you will get there 10 times faster, or even faster than 10 times faster. If you work in the beginning of your career building your community, like I talked about in my previous video, what this does is it teaches you how to allow other people to build your business for you. You know, the whole point of a business is to have a business that other people build for you. And what I mean by that is post about you, share things about you, talk about you. You want to have these talk triggers. There's a book called Talk Triggers, and it explains it. These things that people go, oh, that's cool. Even if they see you on Instagram and they're in France and they're never going to come here, you want to have a business that people are so supportive of that they want to tell people about it. And having a community is a really, really great base of that, because not only do they love you, they're going to love what you're doing, and they're going to share about it and tell people about it. Okay, another thing, all these things are really difficult, but if this sounds very selfish, but if you don't put yourself first, nobody will. If you're a mother, of course, your children come first. But what I mean by that is, I just had a mentorship call earlier today, and she was telling me about how she procrastinated. She waited so long to do something that she knew needed to be done in her business, because she felt so bad for this girl, when this girl was literally just costing her thousands and thousands of dollars. And the thing is, it's just business. It's not personal. And if something isn't working out for your business, you have to eliminate it. And of course, I'm saying do this in a kind way, but I've had to fire people who I knew very well. And it's not easy. It is really difficult. And if you know something has to be changed, just do it. Be as honest as you can, but you have to put yourself first in business, whatever that means to you. If you're constantly putting others first, you're never going to get anywhere, because you're putting other people's priorities above what your priorities are for you and your business, and feeding your family, and reaching your goals. And that is a really, really quick way to lose motivation, because all of this energy and motivation you have, you're just constantly giving it away. Let's see here. I guess this one would kind of fall into a line with feeling bad for others, but feeling bad for others and not doing it. So like if you, for example, when I was going to start lashing, I knew somebody else that wanted to start lashing, and I put it off for 2 months. I didn't do it because I was like, crap, I feel bad because she just said she wanted to do it. Now I said I wanted to do it. Oh my God. So I waited for 2 months and she still didn't make any moves. So I'm like, what? Why? Nothing came of it. I knew that was going to happen. I just felt bad. But you have to do things that are right for you and not have guilt for that. But you can't make decisions based off of feeling bad for people. You have to do what's right for you and what's best for you in your business and in life. The next thing is actually being too scared to do something, I will tell you, once you hit 3 months, it's not scary anymore. And again, have a financial plan, have a realistic business plan. But if you can get to that 3-month mark and not give up, it's not scary anymore. And you're like, okay, what was I afraid of? I'm now making more money, or I have more freedom, or I'm working on a goal that I am really passionate about. Get to that 3-month mark before you just give up and completely throw in the towel, because there is something about that first quarter into your business where you just start to become a little bit desensitized. And then if you can get to the next quarter and hit 6 months, even better. If you can get past 2 years, oh my God. And then the next, if you can get past that 5-year mark, most people, it's that between 3 to 5 years where it's that make or break. Either stuff starts to click and things start to make sense and to fall into place, or it's just too hard and you give up. First goal is 3 months. Set your goal in increments of, 3 months at a time or 6 months, whatever you want to do. But that very first 3 months, do not give up until you hit that 3 months, because there is just something with that fear that about that first quarter, that 3-month mark, that it goes away. And the last thing I will say is, my advice for somebody who wants to create a business is to create something that doesn't exist. Like, if you want to be successful, my advice is to do something that nobody's doing. But you have to remember, just because it doesn't exist doesn't mean that people want it. So I know people have these fantastic ideas and they launch it, and it's like, oh my gosh, you almost had it, but you didn't quite get it right, and the pitch didn't go well, and people didn't want it. So if you have an idea that doesn't exist, make sure that you are able to pitch this before you actually financially invest, to see if it's something that people would actually invest in, because it would be really unfortunate if after a year you've invested $25,000 to $35,000 in a company to come to find out you have $25,000 to $35,000 worth of inventory that you can't sell, and now you're stuck with. And that's cool. Maybe you'll have lashes for the rest of your career, but like, what are you going to do with all that? Those are just some really, really valuable pieces of advice that I wish I would have gotten. And for me and how my brain works, I need to know what it is and why. So hopefully me giving you some examples was helpful, and maybe you're able to put yourself in those positions. But yeah, if I would have known or had the bravery to do some of these things in my first year, oh my gosh, I would have gotten so much further, so much quicker. But I always feel bad for people. I always put other people first, or I'm too scared to do something. And the thing is, if you are passionate about something, you'll find it doesn't feel like work, and it's just easy to do because it's fulfilling something that you have deep inside of you. So if you have an idea and you're very, very passionate about it, and it's not based off of finances, do it. But if you have something that you're doing for financial gain, I promise you will hit a rough patch and you'll burn out, and it's just a waste of time, a waste of money. Just pick something that you're really passionate about, and it never really feels like work. And on those days where you just don't feel like going to work, you at least kind of enjoy it a little bit.